Hey, happy Friday. Sorry I'm a couple seconds late. I'm gonna start off with some hopes for today. Hello, walking in the Netherlands. Willkommen, happy 4th. A loaded salutation for today. I'm a little late because I got in a argument with one of my neighbors. A political argument. This is why we don't talk politics on this channel. Um, I can go from 0 to 3rd gear pretty fast. I remember. That's awesome. We saw your computer last night. We can put that video up. We're looking forward to watching you walk. My request, though, if I have to have a request, and I'll definitely throw one back to you, is get me some windmills. I know that's totally cliche, but I love a good windmill. Hey Jay, we are all right. Joe's got a show tonight. I am chilling with the dogs to keep them from jumping out a window. I don't know that they would really do that, but the fireworks kind of scare one of them a lot. I gave him I bought 2 different kinds of dog calming treats from Petco. I will tell you, neither one of them have worked. Hey, Ellie. So we're on Hollywood Boulevard, one of the little mini villages of yesteryear. Thai town, really. I saw one post. I'm gonna say that I did see one post walking in Netherlands. A test post, it looked like. Let me know if you want any tips or tricks. There are always kinks to walking and live streaming, for sure. But I saw you were using Prism, which is a really great start. Wonder Woman. I've been using... Ooh, I heard a beep, it wasn't me. I've been using Prism, Giuseppe uses Prism. It's gonna go to a charge thing. I think it was the 7th, but now it's the 28th. It's totally worth it. It's like $9.99, I think, here, or even $11.99. I thought it was pretty cool that it was free. And then I think the other 2 softwares that you can do it with, the OBS and Streamlabs, maybe. I think I looked at one of those before, but I don't know. Prism is so easy to use. Hey Duncan, happy Friday. California Donuts over there. I've always kind of wondered about that place, but back when we went to the fried chicken shop, sorry, somebody was saying something and I didn't know if I should listen. Yeah, don't use, sorry, back when we went to Pioneer Chicken, I like looked up other California weird restaurants or chains that don't really exist anymore, and that was one of them. So I'm dying to go there. Prism does let you put a chat up. It's like, if you slide all the way to the right, they give you a bunch of options. I highly recommend don't using the chat if you are on YouTube because it duplicates it, and their chat is, I feel like it's really more geared towards a computer, like a desktop or a TV than a phone. And I don't know what percentage for this channel. A lot of people watch it on the TV in the high 40s. I'm a dual watcher, so TV, phone, sometimes computer. This always tugs at my heartstrings. I'd have to like stop and think, but mostly I could just name them. A Saab dealership. I've never been to Sweden or Norway. Been to Denmark, Germany, but a little teeny time in Germany. The Netherlands a couple times. France a bunch of times. Italy a bunch of times. And when I say a bunch of times, like I lived in Vienna, Austria for a little bit, so I would go get out of there because it was so boring for a 20-year-old. Unless you're into opera. And then Egypt and Turkey and Greece. Not Turkey, sorry, I don't know why I said Turkey, sorry about that. So, you know how we sometimes walk down that staircase on the freeway? There's downtown LA over there. I've also been to Canada a lot because I grew up in New Hampshire, so going to Canada was like, I don't know, going to Las Vegas, except it was Canada. The really weird thing is I saw a lot of other places before I saw a lot of the United States, which, I don't know, in the world, my favorite spots, I really love Amsterdam a lot, and I think a lot of Americans do, but I'm not a super drinker partier. I just love the way the city is set up on the canals, even though they are sinking or whatnot. I did really love Vienna, but not the coolest spot. I think my favorite places to visit, I love Paris, and I stayed in Dijon, Paris for a while. I really loved Amsterdam. I also have been to Belgium, but you kind of have to go through it. Also Cairo. I have been to Cairo, and Cairo is probably and Athens. Cairo and Athens kind of felt similar on a, oh my God, this is before I lived in California, so over 20 years ago. I'm gonna sound like a California person, but they kind of have the same kind of buzz or energy to them. Yeah, I was obsessed with this movie called A Dog of Flanders when I was a kid. It was like a movie from the 40s. It was probably black and white and then colorized, and it would come all the time on television. So I always wanted to go to Belgium and the Netherlands. And also, I know you're don't want to embarrass you with all the Netherlands talk, but I grew up in a city that had canals in it also, and by the time I was probably 8 or 9, they were filled with junk. Actually, by the time we moved there, they were full of trash. And then the city they filled them with cement, so they were just streets. And I think that is kind of like why I maybe the canals, the whole idea of canals. Also, Hans Brinker and the Silver Skates. I really love that book. The idea of skating through the city. I don't know. Also, I did a lot of ice skating as a kid. Hence my fascination. I did go to Brussels in Belgium. And my most, I guess, the country I spent the least amount of time in, which I would love to go back, is, of course, Germany. I really only went to Hamburg, and Dresden. I've also been to Czechoslovakia. A funny story. When I went into Czechoslovakia, it was Czechoslovakia. 2 days later, it was two different countries, and one of them didn't accept my Eurail pass. Oh, I thought I did not go to Brugge, actually. I'm hoping to see the canals of Long Beach soon. I think probably the following week. I have, if Kit is out there, I have done a little Sherman Oaks research on what I could do in Sherman Oaks. So I have something planned for Sherman Oaks, planned out. Just don't have a date yet. I've never been to the Palm Thai restaurant. Funny. I've walked by it, lived near it a million times. I mean, I haven't lived near it a million times, but walked by it a million times. And welcome, Gerard. You know what? I heard a traffic report about not to drive on Sunday, and that's the day. So we're gonna go. I gotta talk to Joe, but we want to go to the beach maybe tomorrow instead of Sunday, because everybody will be coming home from vacation on Sunday. I didn't even think about that, but like, don't usually people come home on Monday from vacation and make it a 4-day weekend? I love the LA Pride Village still has its signs up. This was at the very end of the Pride festivities that we were at a couple weeks ago. Ooh. Hey, Ruben, take care. You too. Sorry, I'm trying to show you guys. I can't tell. Hold on, what it actually says. It's just a zero. Maybe that's a UFO. I'm dying to see a UFO. No time like now for a UFO. I know, that's the main thing. If we end up not going, we will let you know. We'll do something else on Sunday that doesn't require too much driving, and I will go to Huntington Beach next Sunday because I'm dying to go. I wish I wish we could take a train there to beat the traffic. We got a lot of hopes on this street in Hollywood. Hopes gets around. It will be, and I promise. Two Huntingtons I need to go to: Huntington Beach, Huntington Gardens. Huntington Gardens will be somewhat easier because on weekdays it's not very busy, and I can drive there, free parking. I like that. Now it's actually turned into a Q or a pentagram. It's becoming something. If I can. The one thing I do hate about tourism is the way it gets larger. It's a V. Hopefully not for Vendetta. Oh, Fantastic Four. Lame. Whoa. It got dark. Fantastic Four. I can't believe they're making another Fantastic Four. There's our little friend, our Hollywood sign over there. We'll see it again. A peace sign would be nice right about now. I think we could use a peace sign. It's always a good time for a peace sign. I don't mean that in like a hippy-dippy way, but seriously. Who cares? So here we start our tourist watching. This guy getting the full 360 shot of Hollywood Boulevard. Hey, Mary. Happy Friday. I have no idea what the temperature is. It does feel hot. It could be these fancy granite black sidewalks though. They're hot when it's hot, they're slick when it's wet. But they look really groovy. So, Mary, that's an interesting question. We got them some, thank you so much. We got them one of my doggies just goes and lies somewhere, like hides. The other one is a tense, nervous wreck, the terrier. So, and I feel terrible for him. Like, it's not something like a child you can cuddle out of them, they're just freaking out. So, we got him some dog calmer. Doesn't work at all. We've been giving it to him to test it out over the past couple days, and it doesn't work at all. I got something else last night from Petco. It's like a hemp seed, CBD. Doesn't really seem to work at all either. So I'm staying home. I'm gonna blast the music. We're gonna be listening to the new Benson Boone album all night. I'm joking. We're going to be listening to the Carpenters. Something soothing, right? Downey, California natives, the Carpenters. And some Beach Boys. Dude, there was a while where that stupid song about the ice cream teen steam ripping off our panties, I don't even know what it was, but like that song would come up on shorts over and over and over again. Like you could not get away from it. If I liked him before, after that, I really would have hated him. I really do love the Carpenters. I love Karen's voice. I listen to the Carpenters frequently, I would say. Maybe only like 10 songs, though. Some of them are a little too sappy. But what a really kind of gift that voice was. It's also like the sound of AM radio in the 70s. Karen Carpenter, Olivia Newton-John, and Linda Ronstadt. Stevie Nicks. I actually prefer Christine McVie's voice over Stevie Nicks. There's another Hopes. What was last week? The Beach Boys? It's a song with a story, Superstar. I personally like Top of the World. I feel like I remember them singing that. I definitely was too young to have seen that like firsthand, but I feel like I remember them being on the Muppets or seeing that. I could be wrong. Let's go. Let's go full tourist and poke up around the building known as Capitol Records. I, I also love the often parodied Carpenter song. I think even The Simpsons did a parody of it. A parody of it. It was the song that played when The Simpsons got a doorbell close to you, and then the doorbell broke. This is the house that Nat built, y'all. Remember this house. If you're new here, feast your eyes. If you've been here before, take a 15th look and see if you can count how many ceiling tiles are missing from each floor. I can't believe that's going to be residences. This used to be where all the radio stations were. We've talked about that before, right? So I can't remember what that's called. We'll know in a second. Bob Hope used to play there, and Judy Garland. There's a really crazy video of Judy Garland rehearsing there in the morning before she has makeup or has taken whatever drugs she used to keep her going. And then they compare it side by side to that night's performance. I'm not really Judy Garland obsessed, but I tend to talk about her a lot. I think it's Hollywood, right? This is a really cool area. Mary, I really wish I could get inside of some of these buildings. Maybe when we get a little more famous, not I don't want to get famous, but I mean like a little more reputable, some people start opening doors for me to go inside of places. I think this building, when I moved to Hollywood, was definitely one of I'm gonna glow up on it 1 second. One of the buildings that I was just like, wow, because I feel like my whole entire life I've seen it on TV or pictures of it. I'll see if I can find some pictures of the inside. I'm definitely interested in going inside. Just a really lovely building. And this area has come a long way. I have never walked to the Hollywood sign, but I will show it to you from a distance. There is a way you can walk up there, and I think Cecilia mentioned that somebody had streamed up there before. This building right here, it's like a federal looking building. I just love these kind of buildings. I would love to see the Alexandria hotels closed offside. Except you got to go through the roof. How do you get on the roof? I also would love to go into that shoe shop that closed down in the 90s and never reopened. I forget which hotel that's at, closer to the Cecil. So where do you get a round couch? I would need to file through the bricks. It's funny. So that's the Knickerbocker. William Frawley lived there from I Love Lucy, right? In his older years, and actually collapsed on the steps and passed away. Also, there's some pictures of Elvis when that Knickerbocker was a swinging hotel. But the one thing that really reminds me of I Love Lucy and Hollywood, I've talked about this before, it's weird that they're so close, is the Broadway Hollywood sign. There's a season where I Love Lucy goes to Hollywood, and this Broadway Hollywood sign is in like the matte painting that is the background. That's the thing about that hotel. This is what I don't understand. Like, so the buyer that bought it in 2012, like, what was he buying? And like, why didn't the other building just absorb it? I think though, like, also 90 something years it's been locked away. Like, it's gonna need some help, some cleaning, some mold reduction. Those windows are pigeon poop removal. So I've counted 3 Hopes today. I started at a Hopes over there. Let's keep counting them. I'll forget eventually. Right, that's the thing about that kind of also scares me about the polar ice caps melting, other than the utter destruction. But the stuff that's been frozen in there for millennium or millennia. That's crazy because the city or nobody ever did anything about it. And you would also think that having a building or a portion of a building exposed to the elements like that, like, would be degrading to the structure of the building. There's our red light block. We are a couple blocks away from the Chinese Theater. The Chinese Theater starts, the Star started on Gower a couple blocks back. First star, I think, is Lucille Ball, actually. A soulful Sunday. Do you guys want to go to a museum? Do you think they'll let me into the Scientology Life exhibition? I'm gonna check for Fluffy. I feel like I owe that to BD. Just like I owe pointing out where, oh my gosh, I keep thinking it's Friday. Where Raymond Chandler Square is every time you're on the stream, LA Unknown. Coming up. I used to really like to think that thought. And I know that it's totally true, but like looking at people and not understanding them and just thinking we're exactly made of the same stuff. We're exactly the same. But then you have to think I'm exactly the same stuff as this Wagoneer also. That's carbon. I know, I was like, oh my gosh, now the farmer's market's gone? When will this stop? There is a really huge flea market in my neighborhood. We've never gone to it It's not really in my neighborhood, but it's closer to my neighborhood than any other flea market that we've gone to. It's pretty awesome. I don't think we've ever gotten anything from there. Actually, Joseph gets socks from there. 12 pair, $5 or something like that. For Adidas, Adinas. They look like Adidas. And you can only tell if you look real close, but they've got all kinds of cool stuff like that. I'm gonna cross. And weird like buttons and pins and belt buckles and elote. Hasn't been open for a couple weeks because everyone's afraid. So for 1 second, I thought maybe the farmer's market was Splitzo too. It's weird because a Friday holiday used to mean something when I worked Monday through Friday. Now, barely know what day it is. I'm joking, but actually it's true. I want to take a sec while we're in Hollywood to give a quick and wholehearted thank you to my members. We do have something special coming up this week. I promise it's a members only live stream. But stay tuned for it. I'm going to try to do it on Tuesday. While we look at all those names, we can look at our P22. RIP P22. Anyway, one of the original tourist attractions in Hollywood was this house that is no longer here. One of the streets is named after it a couple blocks down, so it's called de Longpre. The house stood here. I hope you can see a picture of it. So this house stood on the corner. Was one of Hollywood's major tourist attractions. In 1901, he built a palatial home and studio that featured Moorish architecture, elaborate gardens on a 3-acre parcel. The bus stopped right here. Oh, trolley trips via the Los Angeles Pacific Railroad. Gone and forgotten, I guess so. I kind of wish it was still here. LA has done a lot of wrecking of things. I honestly feel like the first time I was here was like 2000 maybe, right? And maybe it was 1990. I think it was 2000. The first time I was here, we were on a tour. We took a tour bus. Now, I know that the tour buses lie, right? So we took this tour bus and we were driving by this like wrought iron fence that had like Mickey Mouse ears in it, and the tour bus guy, who's probably not lying at the time, told us that that was once Walt Disney's home they're tearing down. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. I mean, he had like 15 homes here. So we're gonna Lido up and then come back down. I felt like Los Angeles didn't have a lot of reverence for its past, but then I feel like it's starting to catch up. I mean, the fact that this theater, which has been unusable for a good 23 years because it's water damaged and damaged from the earthquakes underneath, is still here. Also, we were talking about Bunker Hill just being totally blighted out, public domained, and then taken over by the city. Why did we walk up here? I have no idea. I don't really want to go to the Lido, but that's the Lido Hotel, or Lido apartment building, haunted. Down there are two other hotels, actually, the Mark Twain Hotel and the Gilbert Hotel, both in the Green Book. I've told this story before, so if you're here again, but I once went to a party out in, I've told the story under different conditions before, but I once went out to a party. They just updated Apple Maps, that's the story, out in Brentwood. But Brentwood is got some really, really rural parts of it, mostly really rural, and with like deer signs and deer crossing signs. So I went out to this 1950s giant ranch that looked like a steakhouse. It had like 5 little bungalows around it, but it was once Barbara Stanwyck's house. It was really much cooler than the steakhouse I'm making it sound like. And I have to tell ya, they were tearing it down. It was being sold as a tear down. So sometimes they wreck them, and sometimes they push them back 50 feet, such as the case with the house up here, the Jane's house. So this was a members video, but there's a house tucked back here that used to be where this little plaza is sitting. So you can just barely see it back there. So they used to sit down here. It is the last wooden house of Hollywood Boulevard. I'm afraid that this building right here on the corner is going to go at some point. I just really love it. I've always dreamed of living in that top apartment. Yeah, the one with no windows. But in my fantasy, it has windows. And stepping on that balcony to throw beads down in the Mardi Gras parade. We don't have one of those. The Mighty Bull! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Always wonderful when you grace us with your presence. And a photo mat. I saw another picture with a photo mat. I can almost remember where no stars are for some reason, except for Nishol. I mean, no, that wasn't even a name. The lady from Star Trek. And also, who sings The Wayward Wind? That lady's star. I can remember, I always look down when I see that too. We see Jimi Hendrix, Upside Down. Followed by Franz Zimmermann, John Ritter, Nichelle Nichols. Her star's on Las Palmas, right? John Ritter, followed by Tex Ritter. John Ritter, Three's Company for some reason has. There's Ralph Macchio, but that's a TV star. He must have another one for movies, right? Pat Morita, that's a movie star. He must have another one for TV. Dustin Farnham, Anatole Litvak, Nichelle Nichols, and we are Cherokee. I thought it was Las Palmas. And Robert Vaughn. I kind of don't like to walk on them. I don't know. Feels like graves almost. Leonard Nimoy. They put all the Star Trek people, well, not all of them. William Shatner is probably somewhere very special. Alan Hale Jr. Anyway, back to Three's Company. All of a sudden, like, blocks of Three's Company episodes, all packaged without the opening or closing credits, have just kind of filled my YouTube stream. So I've been watching. I think there's people. So we've talked about this spot before, the Vogue Theater. I want to just... The urban legend here is that at one time, 1905, there was a school on this corner that burnt down, and that theater is very haunted. You can see those weird videos that haunted channels make from there. Hey, Cecilia. Happy for OJ. I think you can wait. That's some good pricing. We'll have to check that out later and see if it gets jacked up later. I love looking in this building. I just imagine getting my shoes shined there. I'm trying to block it. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't, but it's pretty cool. Hey, Focus, welcome, welcome. If it's your first time here, welcome to Hollywood. We're not always here, but frequently, please feel free to do this. There we go. Do that. You guys, are you guys having storms? I thought there was like some crazy, wow, there's a Star Trek tour. I thought there was some kind of like crazy storms. It looked like in actually like northern Florida, Georgia, East Coasty, Virginia part. So the one thing I'm always super happy to see and super happy they preserved is really just one of the just really, I don't know, achievement that should be celebrated. It's unfortunately no longer with us, but the TV Guide channel sign, now we can't see it. We will again. Remember TV Guide channel? Oh, I think I spent more hours watching that than actual TV shows. That robot is all Fantastic Four'd out also. I could use a rainy day here, even though my super awesome umbrella broke. I'll just get another one. It was $9.99. Well, maybe not now. This time I'm not gonna get a black and white striped one. I hope that people, I know the Hollywood Museum, that lady seems to have preserved a lot of really great TV stuff, which is why I want to get in there so bad. Fantastic Four, maybe I should see it. We're gonna walk out onto Highland. We'll see the Hollywood sign. I'm gonna try to cross the street here, walk into the mall. I think I've gotten more used to the delivery robots, but at first I was watching. They kind of weirded me out. I was watching one deliver something, and we have really like broken up sidewalks because of these trees. Well, these are magnolias, actually ficus trees. So the sidewalks go up like 16 inches in some spots. It's like I can't imagine if I was pushing a walker or a shopping cart or a cane over them. I'm surprised I haven't broken my ankles. Point being, look, Yamashira up there. I can almost see it in the church. Point being that I was watching it deal with one of those cracks where the sidewalk is just up like 15 inches higher than the rest of it, and then it has a drop off. It could not figure out how to maneuver that. So it didn't go around it or go into the street. It literally just went in the other direction. Like maybe trying to go there, go around the block to get to whatever house it was trying to get to. I think if they get stuck, the hatch opens and anybody can eat the food. That's the rules. I'm kidding. I don't know. They probably send a technician out. I like the thought actually of them actually being operated by someone with a joystick on their couch at home. Although that's not what happens. There we go. I'll give you a nice close-up of that. Everybody, you know, there it is, the TV Guide Network. I know that you wanted to see that. Even closer. Should we? Let me go back. Family running. And there we are. I'll be sad when that sign's gone. A gentle reminder of the TV Guide channel that once was. We're gonna mosey over to the Chinese theater, but first let's go through Ovation. I have a feeling that there are either not a lot of people out today, or we just don't have the tourist pull that we usually have. This burger place always smells so delicious. Have I ever gone there? No. You know what would suck? Is having to work in this mall on the 4th of July. Let's get a look around. Oh, that's not the way we want to go. I never walk up this way. Just a little... Ooh. Excuse me. Woo. All right. All these people. You could bring your own lunch, but no smoking. Let me get you close up. Every time I hike, hotter. Hey, Carriopolis. Happy 4OJ. Joe's on at 11, I think. Try not to throw up. I'm trying to center that. Follow the bouncing Hollywood sign. I feel bad, although I love it when people are polite and they try to stay out of the way. Here's the rest of the mall. Let's go towards the Chinese theater. I mention this every time, but this Hot Topic is like one of the only stores that is still here from when this opened. No, Joe doesn't stream his shows. I wish that might be kind of a cool thing. Oh, I thought that was maybe kind of a new kind of soft serve. I put up the rest of those videos yesterday of me getting the soft serve and then eating the soft serve and then credit card number all blocked out. I would say it is sort of industrial electronic music. I think Joe might have a different term for it that he uses. But it's really good, I think. Me too, but I'm staying home with the dogs. Hey, Ty. So we're on like the top, not the top floor, but one of the floors. Little food court over here. Kind of nice view of the Kimmy Jimmel show. I really need to keep looking where I'm walking because I am paranoid about tripping. And landing down there. I was hoping it was another fish ice cream place. The best ice cream we have had is that Boom Sam, I have to say. Even better than the regular place that we go to. Which we won't stop going to. It's really too high for me. My back is on the wall. My sweaty backpack covered back. Sorry, TMI. I almost tried to walk down the up escalator, but instead I'm gonna walk down the non-working piano stairs. I'm imagining what it might sound like if these actually played. Okay, that's enough of that. I don't even know what I'm having for dinner tonight because maybe I'll have tacos again. We made barbacoa again last night. Just I got a roast instead of using cut up meat. And we have a lot left over. I also have a ton of cabbage. Oh, look, it's America's Boy, Jackie Cooper. That's an oldie. Not what we're here for. It's funny because you can see in some of these spots that people tried to leave things behind, like Gene Simmons, the actress, not the number of kiss. Somebody stole it, I know. No, but sorta. But no, not like Joseph does. I tinker. Oh my gosh, I never noticed shares before. I forgot it's not Sunday. I was like, where's that guy that knows where everything is? Oh my god, that sounds great, Cecilia. It's actually pretty crowded over here, but it's not as crowded as it usually is. I still see no Fluffy. I'm just looking for the cleanest chunk of cement at this point. BD, I don't think Fluffy has landed yet. It definitely seems like it's been longer than a month. Enough time for the concrete to cure. Well, this is the... I'm gonna sneak through and take the street like a true Hollywood person and walk in the gutter. Oh, I love curry paste, actually. Let's just walk around the Tesla. Yes, that is a Hard Rock Cafe. One still exists. Although, does anybody love Hard Rock anymore? We're gonna cross. I'm really rule bound though, and try not to jaywalk most of the time. I think if you know what you're doing, you can jaywalk, but I'm much better at being careful. It smells like a waffle cone. Oh, because... How much do you think that is? Or one of those is? Let us know how that is. I love alternate wheat breads. It looks really good. I think it's $15. I think you're right, Mary. That's something, I think, though, not out of our budget, but I think it's something I would need Joe here for. Oh. Let's see if the $5 soft serve place is open. Also, like, that looks like a disaster for my shirt. I put on shorts to walk the dog this morning. It looked like I had dropped hot oil all over the front of them. I had to go back in and change. I really don't know if they were dirty, in which case I've never spilled anything like that on myself, or if I washed them and something happened, but couldn't do that. I have a feeling that that ice cream dripping with caramel or fudge would definitely end up on my pants. Hey Phil, welcome, welcome. So we almost broke the tradition of not going over here and checking to see if the ice cream place was open. There it is, the $5 Premier souvenir shop. And I'm just trying to see the little ice cream window. and not get hit by a car turning this corner. Oh man. I don't know, Joe. It looks like the $5 ice cream is open. You really... Let's see if they're really open. So no sign, but nobody in there. Joey, I don't think they're open. It's been a long time. Look at the antique Chinese theater entrance. I've never noticed that before. Cool. They ought to just paint that window over. I think they're part of the tourist shop. And then I really have some sad news for you guys. This is Carmen Miranda Square. Yeah, Joe. Well, there's always the ice cream filled donut, or I could get a box of Selena Gomez signature Oreo cookies and eat them on my way home. I bet they're good. Selena Gomez seems like she would have excellent taste in Oreo flavors. Hey, Ricky. $17.95, right? That's too much. That's a bridge too far. I hate when people cross through the crosswalk when there are still people really close to... Holy shinola. Bad news. Ice cream donut lovers. No more ice cream donut shop. It's for lease. Oh well, at least it wasn't one of those places that I always wanted to go to and never did. I kind of feel like it's my fault. I feel like if I had more followers watching that episode where I ate the ice cream, they would still be here today. I think a whole grip of stuff just closed down here. So there was a huge 2-level Zara that is gone. And then historically, stores have always kind of struggled in this mall over here. There used to be a Louis Vuitton, there used to be a Banana Republic, there was a weird Tommy Hilfiger store here for a while. Gap was the corner store when it first opened. And that stuff just didn't last. I just got behind those ladies and gave the peace sign in their picture. Like, there's a Ghirardelli in Pasadena too. I wonder if it's as expensive there as it is here. We can take one last look at it. But for $20, I could literally go to Ralph's and get the ingredients and make us all one of those for $20. Maybe not all of us. I think the trick down here is, I think there's money to be made in some of these stores, but it has to be course, people love souvenirs, but it has to be like an event. Like you're coming down here for some reason, you know? Like whether it's Dave and Buster's or to a movie. Ice cream donut shop. They did try to be like some TikTok superstars. Yeah.
Can I get in it?
Sure. What do you want to say?
How many people you got in there?
67 right now.
Alright, shout out TMZ, shout out Jay-Z. Illuminati make him famous.
There you go. All right, some wisdom as we walk around. Your store would need to definitely need to stand out. But also people are, I really feel like people are interested, and this is not a slight or a bad or anything, but people are interested in doing things where they can take pictures of themselves at it. The best example is, we got Ripley's here. We just walked through that. I think that in the next year, they're probably going to make a lot more weird take a picture of yourself stuff, because the museum next to it, which was the Hollywood Museum, totally changed over and has become like a Giant's Playroom or Miranda's Garden kind of experience. Everybody does want to be seen, except me. I don't think this is I'm surprised the Gap didn't do better in this area. I shopped at that Gap a lot when it was over here. I think a lot of shoplifting here. But the Banana Republic that was also over here was an awesome one, because they could never sell anything full price in this neighborhood. I just think they really tried to make like a Grove-like experience over here, and it's a different kind of neighborhood. You know, I usually am hiding from the camera or behind it, but every once in a while, I'll usually cop to it when it ends up facing me. Or at the end of this Ripley's Believe It or Not video, I was filming myself in the mirrors walking out. Hollywood Museum, you're on my list. That museum is like $12 to get into. I know everyone else has free museums and great stuff like that, but that's a treat down here. Everything else is like 25 bucks. 25 bucks. And I bought the magazine too. Hollywood Wax Museum, also 25 bucks. This used to be just the Hollywood Museum, also an old theater. This is like kind of like a 3D experience, but it's like Outbreak, Hannah's Maze of Mirrors, and then the Giant Psychic Room or something like that. Mel's Diner. There's a better Mel's Diner on Sunset Boulevard, like way over in like the Sunset Strip area. Although I love that one too, actually. And they still have little jukeboxes or at the tables. But I think the food is just standard diner fare. If anybody's curious, let me know. If you got DirecTV, you can find the answers to I don't know what. What would be your go-to like diner meal if you had to eat at a diner? Mine would probably be, it can't be like a grilled cheese because that's too easy, but that's probably what it would be, grilled cheese with bacon, but maybe like an open-faced turkey sandwich. Seems very dinery. I feel like Mel's is closer to Denny's than IHOP, yeah. Except it's 50s style. More kitsch than Denny's or IHOP. Now they're playing Taylor Swift to scare away homeless people. I'm thinking it works. Used to be classical music. French toast. I always confuse Coco's and Mimi's Cafe, and I feel like there was like one other restaurant that kind of seemed the same to me. And I ate at one of those, Coco's or Mimi's Cafe or the other restaurant, oh, Marie Callender's. That was it. I ate at, oh, I love biscuits and gravy. In addition to lots of Three's Company stuff coming up on my YouTube, I'm also getting a lot of cake videos right now.
Hey guys.
And baking is such a science. I watched this guy make I forgot what it was called, a chantilly cake. What a pain in the ass. The preppy cook. Every cake was so incredibly complicated. I watched him make two, and once he was like, temper the curd, I was like, I'm out of here. I always prefer, I like a double crust berry pie. I never buy apple pie or would order apple pie anywhere, but I would make it and I really love it. And I don't love meringue pie either. I was kind of wondering about Poppet. Ooh, I love pecan pie too. I'm in a bump for a minute. Hold on. There we go. Sorry, it looked like you had a little hiccup. That's how we know it's not. I shouldn't say anything else about it, but I will at the very end. I would really like, so the whole cake thing, oh, chocolate pecan pie. I used to get a really nice pecan pie mix from Williams Sonoma. It was really good. Like $16 in the jar. But it was so good. The little gentleman is asleep in the front of the costume shop. Oh, I do need a summer bathing suit. He's watching us. Coconut, banana, lemon cream pie also sounds really good. I feel like I haven't had a coconut cream pie in my life. I just remember them as being the only pie on Gilligan's Island. Hey, full collapse. So there's an ingredient that they put in pecan pie, like the true Southerners put in pecan pie, that people now replace with like corn syrup. And that is what makes the difference. I can't remember what that is. It's like a Southern molasses type thing. Treacle? I don't think it's treacle, but maybe. Yep, that's the Hustler Superstore for super hustlers. I'm not allowed in there. I'm only a moderate hustler. Oh my god, that was so quaint. That lady was actually holding a map. Hey, full collapse. Did I say that? Right. Didn't come here hungry, I hope. So, quite different than the buildings in downtown Los Angeles, eh? I think that's one of the last like old movie star paintings that they have, which you can't see from here, but it's Myrna Loy. There we go. This 7-Eleven is not playing Taylor Swift. I've seen that. I've never done it. I do love Southern cooking, but who doesn't love extra butter? I mean, anything beats New England cooking. Clam bake. Bah. Give me some grits. And a country ham. Get a little. Here you go. The record store. And these are the questions they get all the time. Where's the Michael Jackson star? Oh, they're turning off the Beach Boys and they're gonna play something we hate. And then, well, we don't hate it, but we're not in our feels that way. I don't know how, if you hit exclamation point weather or weather exclamation point, it'll show you the temperature. I feel like it's in the 70s, almost 80. My watch says severe weather, sunny, 80 degrees. And when that breeze hits, it's nice. The 50% humidity is making my shirt stick to me. Gross. No, it's really not too bad. The only thing, Raymond Chandler Square, here we are. The only thing is, like, I wish I had like sandals on, because wearing socks and sneakers for the walk, my feet can't breathe. I wonder if Popeyes has a dessert menu. Hey, Brock. I love the historical signs and then the huge signs that wrap around a pole that tell you, like, I think it's like the Angel's Walk or something that they have downtown. These are pretty awesome. I think it's kind of also gross to be wearing sandals downtown and over here, but my feet get pretty hot. I will say that. If I had sandals on, maybe I should get some of those Tevas that folks wear. I just don't feel like they're practical to wear sandals. Oh, hey, Daniel. Daniel's got your lunch. They name him Daniel so he's less threatening. No, I probably wouldn't wear them with socks on the walk. I probably wouldn't. I don't know if I could really wear sandals to walk at the distances I walk. I do think I probably, Joe and I got new sneakers at the same time. I think his pair is probably would have been smarter for me to get something like that than what I actually got because they're like a sock. I'm also afraid of like aging myself 20 years by wearing those sandals with the back strap. My feet are quite nice. I mean, that's gross, but I don't have old man feet yet. Although, as we've learned, my hands are disproportionately small. This looks like my dog's butt almost, except bigger, my dog's. They're replacing that later with Who Let the Dogs Out. I don't even know what song that was, but it's pretty bad. Hey, how are you? Looks good. I wonder, I've never put a pair of Crocs on my feet, but I wonder like how that would be walking. I mean, when I do these walks, and sometimes when I don't, I'm usually between 5 and 10 miles a day. So I used to wear Birkenstocks a lot, never for walking crazy distances, but the one time I wore them walking a crazy distance, the straps, like the leather, just cut into my foot, and I'm scarred for life from it. Like literally scarred for life. We have some really cheap sandals that we got on Amazon. I feel like, so when I was a teenager, we used to buy these shoes, these Canadian shoes called John Fluvogs. They were crazy ass giant shoes. Some of them had wooden soles, some of them they were Satan proof though, by the way. So I, for some reason, can't wear anything that makes my foot look narrow, even though I have narrow feet. So I feel like if the sneaker is too narrow, and I'm not talking like I'm wearing those dad sneakers, although these are kind of touching on that, but if it's too narrow, I feel like I have like dainty ballerina feet. I can't explain it. I had a pair of shoes that were almost like hush puppies very recently, and I loved them. They were actually Clark's shoes. And they were like a sort of sneaker saddle shoe without the accoutrements of a saddle shoe, right? So it didn't have any like crazy pattern on it. But the best thing about those is they had like this like air channel through them. So I didn't wear them for a while, and then I put them back on and they dug right into the back of my foot. Nothing like a sneaker that makes you bleed. I have about 4 or 5 Clark's Wallabies. I have some boots. The boots make me feel like I have elf feet. But the shoes I really do love, and they are really comfortable like a sneaker. The problem is that what you want to call it, the gum underneath it is really like slippery. So if you walk through a puddle, you're doomed because you're slipping. Here's Amoeba, which moved. We're gonna go down this way. The Clark's Wallabies were almost like wearing a wedge, actually, because they went up oh so slightly in the back. I probably could wear those walking unless it rained. I feel like I had a pair that I did an awful lot of walking in at one time. I haven't gotten to Skechers yet, although I would be into. The fun thing about Skechers is they're local, right? And Torrance, they have an outlet there. I haven't gotten into them yet, but the one I kind of could see myself getting into is the one that you just slip on and you don't need to lace. They like snap onto your feet. I kind of like that idea. I hate double knotting my shoes, which I have to do all the time, shoelaces. I can't for the life of me keep them from untying. We're gonna take a left on Selma, which we often do. I'm gonna sort of meander down to Sunset. It's a little cooler on this street than Sunset. I know it's only 82, but I don't want to sweat too much. My feet problem is that my arches are really high, and that's why I think the Birkenstock strap just cut into them. Really high arches and really high arch. The hardest thing is for me to get my height of my foot into a shoe, if that makes any sense. Hey, JK. Happy Friday. I don't know if you guys remember this. The Carthay from our Hollywood punk walk. Well, I think I have long toes also. Just maybe I shouldn't talk about Joe's toes. His second toe is very long. I forgot what they call that, grazed toe or something. Or Graves toe. I can hold things with my toes, I will tell you that. I don't think they're exceptionally long, but I don't think they're short. Pick things up. I've never tried to do a painting, but always the first time for that. Potato. I feel like my toes have grown into each other over the years also. Like the way the skin fits together. Okay, that's really kind of gross. Really not into feet, but almost everyone has them. I know, Mary. Your feet are really, really important. They're holding you up if you're a walking person, right? I don't think we pay attention to we do the best things for them or pay attention to them. I keep hearing this commercial for the Goodfoot store, and the lady in the commercial is a nurse. She works long hours, but thanks to the Goodfoot store and the insert they made for her shoe, her feet are not tired at the end of her shift. I have only one hair on my toe. I agree, Cecilia. And that's why those inserts are kind of cool. Like they just fix the inside of the shoe for you. This is the suckiest corner ever. I mean, I'm saying this like I've tried them, but I've not tried them. I've met people that have done something similar to that. I wonder if this house is there's a house over here. It's been for rent for like 2 months. $4,000. Pretty crazy rent, but to be honest with you, I personally love being barefoot. I'm barefoot most of the time I'm at home. Like socks off, shoes off, and hence I always have really dirty feet on the very bottom, despite mopping our floor. I was barefoot a lot when I was a kid. I'm gonna jaywalk in LA because it's too hot over here. My big question is, has Angelique rented this $4,000 house yet? I think it's Angelique. You wouldn't know that we were in between Hollywood and Sunset Boulevard. It's so quiet. Uh-oh. Looks like someone rented this house and is moving in. How exciting. That was sitting around for a couple months. How about them Dodgers? We used to say, how about them Red Sox when I was growing up, and I think that's from a TV show. But yes, this is a totally residential neighborhood in between. We've walked down this street. Oh, we walked down the street a couple times. It's just like a weird, this is what Hollywood neighborhoods used to look like. Not all of them, but a lot of little California looking houses, craftsmen, bungalows. So this is like the middle of studios, like their old studios, and Netflix is that building right over there. It's a really cute area, but I feel like when I used to have Citizen app, I would get a lot of calls for this street and La Bague, Selma, but Selma goes into Hollywood, so it could have been a different part of Selma, and Carlton, which is, I think, almost this street, but a couple blocks down, because it's in between two busy streets. Nice. Hopefully it's lovely and cool in British Columbia. So I get really confused about which studios were over here because I've read so much stuff, but this is like where a lot of studios were at this time. A couple blocks down and a couple blocks right is like Desilu Studios. That's where I Love Lucy was made. The one that we're coming up on is KTLA Studios, but it used to be, I think I was corrected on this live stream, not this one today, but one. And by corrected, I mean just told. I think it was Warner Brothers animation department. But two studios on the street. One is Sunset and Gower, and that's on the corner of Sunset over there to our right, and Gower. And then the other one is Sunset Bronson Studios. That's where they have a newscast. They filmed Dexter there. Brady Bunch movie, I think, too, or maybe that was at Gower. Actually, maybe both of those were at Gower. The Bronson Studio is just TV shows, as far as I know. These are really famous recording studio in front of me. This one with the golden door. So tons and tons and tons of recording studios where Rolling Stones, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., all recorded albums here. That building that says Noya House, that actually used to be CBS at one time when all the radio stations were over here, back in the olden days. That makes Gower Studios even better to me. Much like Three's Company, I did watch a lot of Bewitched growing up. I feel like it was always on TV. And I Dream of Jeannie. Actually, they usually ran back to back. To back to back. All right, so on my way over here, huge fire on the freeway, almost near the stairs that we always walk on. I'm gonna see if it's still running. Or running. Fires don't run, still happening. Luckily, Ty, it's not 90 degrees yet, but I certainly am glad that some days it's too gross to even wear like sunblock, which I feel like today is the kind of day. Like I didn't put any on my legs. No, I know it's bad. But I did put some on my face, so I feel like my face is blocked. We run into celebrities, but not really. Like I've seen some out of the corner of my eye on camera, but we're usually not in like Beverly Hills. So I have seen a hyper pop star having a coffee at one place. I saw a comedian whose name I can never remember eating at Erewhon one day. She smiled at us. When I was in Beverly Hills, I saw some. If you're an actor of a certain age, like 50s or 60s, or even 40s, like you can kind of tell when they were an actor. It'll be like a rugged looking man, but his eyebrows will be perfect and his skin will be taut even though he looks like an older man. Or if he's even older, it looks, sorry about the sirens. So when I was in Beverly Hills, they also don't want to be on camera. So when I was in Beverly Hills, I got a few old men looks from old men who you could tell were maybe on an episode of The Love Boat or a season of a show that never took off. Papaya Salad is closed for the 4th of July. Joe, don't meet me here after all. I'm glad everyone has the day off. Oh my god, Fantasy Island. Like they could have been like the sexy guy on Fantasy Island, one episode. No papaya salad today unless we make it from scratch, which I'm not gonna do. The closest thing I would make from scratch, I started bringing it up when we were talking about cakes earlier, is I really I saw, but didn't watch a video on like somebody making like 3 different versions of strawberry shortcake. It's Epicurious, they do this show. So it was 3 different versions of strawberry shortcake. The home cook, the amateur, and then the professional chef. The professional chef's strawberry shortcake looked like a fancy cake. It was probably really delicious and had some liqueur in it. It's really not strawberry shortcake to me. The home chef also looked a little too fancy. I like it when you just slam the filling and then the biscuits and then boom, you're done. I used to be afraid to watch Fantasy Island, actually. Like, it would scare me sometimes when I was a kid. And it's kind of cool because it was the Arboretum in Santa Anita, across from in Arcadia, across from Santa Anita Racetrack. There's a bungalow in the Arboretum, and that's where they filmed scenes from Fantasy Island. I did love Boat though when I was a kid. In fact, I think on like our TV as a Samsung, there's a whole like Samsung TV, there's a whole Love Boat channel. There's a whole Sonic the Hedgehog channel. And probably a Judge Judy channel too. Oh my gosh, I one time, do you remember the Kentucky Fried movie? If you don't, like, I wasn't alive, or actually I was alive, but I didn't see it until I was way older. But I was helping this lady, and I was like, gosh, you look so familiar. You look so familiar. And she told me her name, and I was like, oh, well, I don't remember her name right now, but she had like a bit part in the Kentucky Fried movie as a newscaster, and somehow I remembered it, and I probably had seen that movie like 10 years before, so very obscure. And then one time I was helping.
Are you live?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally live.
What's it called?
Walking in LA. Just
in LA?
walk through LA, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's it about?
Just
walking in LA?
walking through the streets.
How many viewers does it have?
Right now, about 100.
100?
Yeah.
Good, bro.
Right.
Hey, it's nice meeting
Take it easy. I forgot what I was talking about. We are live. Oh, David Hasselhoff. I haven't. So I was one time helping. I totally forgot. I was one time helping a lady, and I knew who it was, and I was like, "You seem very familiar to me." And sometimes I actually think I know these people. Like, you seem really familiar to me. And she was like, well, how? And I knew who it was. And she was like, I was like, you remind me of Charo. And she's like, I'm Charo's sister. And I was like, okay, no, you're not. I've seen The Love Boat. But she was super lovely. Didn't want to admit she was Charo. And looked awesome. Hey, Brasil. I also saw Barbara Eden about 20 years ago, who looked fantastic, speaking of I Dream of Jeannie. So there. Oz of Los Angeles over there. I'm gonna cross the street. I gotta shrink my camera down a little more. I wish I could put a roof. She was also beautiful as an older blonde woman too. I don't know if she's Irish, but we used to make a joke about our Irish skin all the time. It doesn't age very well, our thin Irish skin. Hey, that's really awesome. So we are just about ending our little Hollywood tour de force in East Hollywood. I want to take a second, again, to say thanks new players, thanks members. I want to give a shout out to y'all. I will be live streaming tomorrow, probably around this midday time. I'm really trying to decide the beach. You have to cut me some slack on this one because I forgot when mentioning going to the beach this Sunday that it was going to be a horrible traffic day. So if I do not go to the beach this weekend, we'll do something anyway in live stream, but I will go to the beach the following weekend. I just have to see, we could go Saturday, which is tomorrow. I just have to see how Joseph feels after his late night show, rocking out. So thank you guys for being here today. Happy to see ya. Thank you, members. Thank you, new subscribers. Have a safe one, whatever it is you're celebrating or mourning today. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But thank you guys so much for joining me. We'll see you super soon. Bye.